Welcome to Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 498. I am your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn here, as always, with suspenders set to maximum stun. Sorry about that hiccup at the beginning of the program. I didn't realize that my mic was muted, but thanks to all of your wonderful comments, I have rectified the situation. Anyway, as I was saying, it's so good to have you on the program today. We're going to be playing some Wolfenstein, the new Colossus, and getting into your questions. We'll have a nice big Q&A session. Phantom Pride says, Ox, no audio. I know. See, the thing is, there's a chat delay. Chris says, is the mic on? It is now, but you guys don't know that yet because there's a chat delay. Well, actually, you guys do know it, but I'm not seeing your reaction of knowing it because there's a chat delay. So everyone is still saying that there's no sound, even though there's... There we go. Everyone is finally saying that there's sound. Okay, so the chat has caught up with the reality. That's good. I'm glad you can hear me. Happy Valentine's Day, one and everybody. I had a great Valentine's Day. Well, okay, so it was a frustrating Valentine's Day. So as I said, I'm locked in my house. On Sunday, last Sunday, I was so frustrated of being locked in this house, having been locked here for 2 days, that I decided to take the kids to go see the new Lego movie, right? So I packed the kids in the car, we're all ready, and I drive out my driveway. So I live down a really long gravel driveway from the main street. And I had called around and everyone was telling me that the street was clear and that you could drive on the road. So I'm like, fine, I'm going to take my kids to go see this movie. I get in the car, we start going down my gravel driveway. We get maybe 100 feet. And then my car gets stuck in a snowbank. Today that was Sunday. Today I went to see if I could free it from the snowbank to go get some coffee. And No, it's stuck. So my car has been stuck in a snowbank outside for just about a week. We haven't left the house, and our supplies are dwindling. We watched the news before the snowstorm hit, so we knew it was coming, and we figured, well, a week of resources will be enough, right? You know, canned foods and all that stuff, purified water just in case. So we bought about a week's worth of resources, and we're kind of all the way through it now, almost, and we still can't leave the house. So we're itching to get out of here. To top it all off, if you've been following me on Twitter, you'll know that we lost power on Tuesday. It didn't come back until Wednesday, but we were out of our internet all the way until today. So we just got our power. No, it was yesterday. No, we got our power back yesterday. I'm sorry. No, we got our internet back yesterday. We got our power back Wednesday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Okay, never mind. I'm confused. The days are all merging together. But it's been insane. So I've only gotten 2 episodes done, 2 lore videos, but both of them were over an hour long. I think one was I think they were both around an hour long. I did a video on L.A. Noire. We did Manifest Destiny. If you have been following the L.A. Noire series, this episode was the big plot twist episode. So I hope you watched all of the previous episodes before you watched Manifest Destiny this morning. And then yesterday morning, I published a video that had taken me many days to finish because I didn't have any power. And that was part 3 of the full story of L.A. Noire. And that itself was almost an hour long as well. So we've been cranking out the content. It's just not been coming every day like I had hoped. But we don't have to worry about that now. Power is back. Internet is back. Car's still stuck, but I've got Scotch and cigars, and that's what's important. So we're going to be playing some Wolfenstein, the new Colossus today, and answering your questions and having a good old time. Archmidian says, you may have to have the grocery store delivered to you. I don't even know if they would attempt it. We are down a really long gravel driveway, and it's more than a foot. It's like a foot and a half of snow, and I suppose I could shovel the driveway, but it's really long, and I'm not really athletic. So I don't know if that would be a good choice of time for me, but it may be something I'll have to do. I mean, we do have to. Anyway, I'm counting on the snow to melt. It's already starting to melt. It was raining earlier, which means that it wasn't cold enough to snow, which means the snow should be melting. So I'll just wait for my car to thaw out, and then we'll be good. King of the South says, awesome videos, man. Thank you very much, King of the South. Good to have you here. The Dark Sarah says, every time I ask what LGBT stands for, I never get a straight answer. I think I heard that joke somewhere this week. I think it was maybe a Reddit meme or something. Did you get that on Reddit or something? I heard that recently. he was trolling us. I swear I wasn't trolling you. I had no idea the sound was off for the first portion of the broadcast. But we're all good now. I'm audible and you can hear me. Henry Arrowhead says, hey, Oxhorn, loving the Fallout 3 story so far. I'm super excited to see the rest of it. Keep up the good work, and here's the tip. Thank you very much for the tip. I'm excited to finish the story of Fallout 3. To be perfectly honest, it's been a long time since I've beat Fallout 3. Over 10 years. And with my current character, I stopped the main story so that I could do all the side stories of Fallout 3, which means I haven't played the main story to Fallout 3 for over 10 years. So I'm going to be rediscovering it on my own while producing this series, and I'm really excited about that. Also, I've never played Broken Steel before, so I'm really excited to be playing Broken Steel, but I got to get through the main plot first before we can get to Broken Steel. Dawson says, you poor thing, Ox, I'll be praying for you. Love from 72 degrees in Louisiana. Just rubbing it in, eh? No, but thank you. Very kind words. The snow will melt. This is uncharacteristic weather for Seattle. It rarely snows like this up here, so I don't know why we just got unlucky, but at least everyone is happy and healthy and warm. Christina says, I'm really loving your LA Noire series, even though Manifest Destiny is stressing me out. My boyfriend... and it flew off the screen. Hold on, let me scroll. My boyfriend and I always enjoy relaxing into your videos. So pumped for the Fallout 3 series to keep being awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, Manifest Destiny was pretty stressing. I recall I tried to relive what was going through my mind when I first played Manifest Destiny. As Cole is walking down the sidewalk and then up the stairs and then down the hallway towards the apartment door. The first time I played it, I'm like, no, Cole, what are you doing? No. And so I tried to just relive what I went through the first time I played the game in the lore video. And I think it turned out pretty well. Chris Sanderson says, in Alaska, we call that Thursday. Look, I don't need people in Alaska or in Canada or Antarctica sharing their stories about snow. Yes, I get it. Snow is worse in other places on this globe. I'm well aware of that fact. But when you're not used to snow, look, I was raised in Alaska, okay? I spent the first 5 or 6 years of my life in Alaska before my family moved down here. So I remember the snows of Alaska. I still have family up there and I visit from time to time. But when you don't spend a lot of time in the snow and when you don't really have snow tires or 4-wheel drive vehicles, you react differently to it. Anyway. Okay. Straylock, the marked one, says, maybe it's time to invest in one of Elon's boring machines. Either that or a snowmobile. Yes, that's a wonderful name for a boring company, I think. But yeah, a snowmobile would be a good idea. I could at least get to the end of my driveway and check the mail with a snowmobile. Or snowshoes. I should probably just get some snowshoes. Haven't had any deliveries, though. So the thing is, power goes out. So I didn't have any candles. I was really unprepared. Look, I was really unprepared. I had no candles. I had no batteries for my flashlights. I mean, we lived off of our phone flashlights. I'm ashamed to say. So as soon as this happened, I go onto my phone and I do a huge order from Amazon. I get like all the little battery-powered lanterns and the 32-hour burn candles and emergency rations. And I get, this battery-operated... this charging dock that's solar powered where you can charge it with sunlight and then you'll be able to charge your phones in emergencies just in case this happens again. But it hasn't arrived yet because the snow, it's blocking everything. I can't get any deliveries. I'm stuck, but at least the power's back. Can't complain. Ajax says, good afternoon, Ox. Let's have some fun, relaxed night. I just got done with tons of animating and oh boy, am I ready to relax. Cheers, old friend, he says. Well, you, sir, are more than welcome, and you reminded me that this is Scotch and smoke rings, and all I've been doing this entire time is talking about my horrible snow situation, so let's pour some Scotch and blow some smoke rings. Now, thankfully, I had the foresight a week ago to buy a brand new bottle of Scotch because I knew that if I got snowed in, well, this is a necessity. I didn't buy batteries. I didn't buy purified water. I didn't buy candles. I bought Scotch. Priorities. So we're going to be opening this box of Scotch today and finding out exactly what's inside. Got a nice new bottle of Glenlivet. Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever seen them wrapping it in paper before. Ah, good. A 12-year-old bottle. Looks like I didn't skimp this time. Well, if we're going to be sitting stuck in the middle of a snowy Seattle February, we might as well be enjoying the good stuff. Sarah says, be careful with Bioshock 3. You start the game out with throwing rocks at people just because they are... Okay. Thank you, Sarah. I'll keep that in mind when/if I ever decide to play Bioshock 3. It's something we talked about on the program. But for the moment, I'm still playing Wolfenstein: The New Order. A game that has its own colorful history. Colorful characters, I should say. But thankfully, we haven't bumped into anything too grotesque. Well, aside from decapitations. That was pretty grotesque. It's a bloody game. Cheers. The Dark Seraph says, still no fancy liquor decanter? For shame, Ox. Yeah, but where would I put it? I guess where I'm currently putting my bottles. Yeah, I should get a fancy liquor decanter. It's impolite to show people what you're drinking, of course. Like the year or the vintage, because it's like bragging. And it's the same way you're never supposed to show someone your cigar bands. If you're smoking around other people, or if you offer someone a cigar, you never show them the band, and you don't never ask to see the band, because it's presumed that they would only ever offer you something quality. And you also don't want to be bragging about the kind of cigar that you're smoking. Ooh, he's smoking a $10 cigar. Right, so it's impolite to show your bands. But I'm a Neanderthal, so I don't care. Christopher Bennett with a tip says, hey Ox, after this Wolfenstein playthrough, will Bioshock 2 be in the future? Maybe, but we have a lot of really fun stuff ahead of us, including Cyberpunk 2077, if they come out with a streamer-friendly mode. And Metro Exodus. Lots of good things to look forward to. Mark Eric says, Ox, since you're talking about Fallout 3, is there a lore reason for why the residents of Andale didn't become Wendigos? Is it the climate of Appalachia? Good question. And there is no lore reason. So the whole Wendigo thing was made just for Fallout 76, right? It was based on Appalachian lore. So the Wendigo is a real West Virginia lore creature, and they decided to incorporate it into Fallout 76. But that is why it wasn't mentioned when the developers made Fallout 3 10 years ago, because they had no idea they were going to be making Fallout 76 set in West Virginia. So, no, there is no lore reason, and there's no connection. It's also hard to explain because cannibalism, according to the lore of Fallout 76, cannibalism plus radiation equals Wendigo. If you get highly irradiated and you're a cannibal, instead of turning into a ghoul, you turn into a Wendigo. There might be something there about greed. Maybe you're a greedy person. Maybe the greed in your heart also turns you into a Wendigo. I don't know. But that's an interesting question, and no lore reason. Patrick says, hey, Oxhorn, love the new Fallout 3 content. Could you wish Elora a happy Valentine's Day from Patrick? Sure. Happy Valentine's Day, Elora, from Patrick. All right, let's see if there are any that I missed. Okay. Dead Fox says, having a hard time working on those animations, so we're super stressed and sad, and just hearing your voice is so calming and relaxing. Love your videos, Oxhorn. Well, Dead Fox, that's extremely kind. Sorry to hear that you're having problems with your animations and that it's stressing you out. But, take a break. Breaks are great. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking a break. It's good for the mind. Welcome, new member. Fa Day Blackout. Good to have you on the program. And then that's the same comment I read earlier. It doesn't matter about your brand if they don't like it, so who's correct, says John Lozana. Well, you know, it's just about politeness. It's more like you don't want to... I guess the thinking behind it goes, you don't want to brag to the people you invite into your home. Oh, we always drink, $50 bottles of Scotch in my home, and so you constantly show off the labels on your bottles. And no, that's impolite. Instead, you've got the liquor in the decanter, so they can't see the actual label of the bottle. They don't know what you're serving, and they'll just assume that, of course, you're serving something quality, and you're not sitting there bragging about the money you spent on the bottle of Scotch. And the same goes for the band on the cigar. That's the thinking that goes behind it, I think. Fade Blackout says, should have become a member ages ago. Well, I'm glad you finally made the jump. Mayhem Madness Gaming says, Ox, but aren't some ghouls cannibals already? Feral ghouls, yes, but I don't think non-feral ghouls are cannibals. They look like zombies, but they're not cannibals, I don't think. I mean, there are lots of cannibals in the Fallout universe that never turned into Wendigos, right? We even find cannibals in Fallout 4, inferred cannibals who were raiders in all of those games, and they never turned into Wendigos. Then there's, of course, the whole the vampires in Fallout 3, whom didn't turn into Wendigos. So the Wendigo is really an Appalachian sort of thing. Zartu says, Ox, did you see my tweet about the dire chemical sewers? Good story. The quest is called Tracking Unknowns. I did see that, and I actually covered that in a previous episode of my live stream of Fallout 76. So it is an interesting story. It ties in with Harper's Ferry, and I'll have to cover it in a video someday. Thomas Dornick says, Bioshock Infinite is amazing. So I hear. I'll have to check it out soon. Mayhem Madness Gaming says, pardon me, I didn't know that about alcohol or cigars. Ox, thank you. Well, I mean, that's an old custom. Like if you go to really hoity-toity places, that's the way they'll act. But everyday neighbors don't really act that way. It's more of it's the way things used to be, and it's the way the upper echelon act now. Not really us. Joshua Tony says, hey Ox, what's your favorite thing about Scotch? I think it's probably the wetness. The wetness of Scotch is good. Also, my ability to drink it. Those two things combined are my favorite things about Scotch. If I had to pick a third, I'd have to say it's the strength. Like the peatiness. It's like putting a campfire in your mouth, as I've said on numerous occasions on this program. Goes great with something burning. Unicorn People says, hi, Oxhorn, just got Fallout 4. Do you have any advice? I don't know. Fallout 4 is the kind of game where, at least in my opinion, you won't really know what you want from the game until you play through it once. It's the sort of game where you really have to play through all of the factions and get to understand them and all of the characters and their motivations before really being able to decide what you want from all of those factions. The problem, of course, is that you don't get all the information about those factions until you join those factions, right? So having the hindsight of having played through it once, you can play through it again and have greater ability to craft the gameplay that you want. Mythic says, hey, Oxhorn, I've been pretty stressed this week because I had to give 2 speeches. So I'm excited to finally relax and watch some Scotch and smoke rings. Well, you came to the right place. We've got Scotch and we'll do some smoke rings right now. Okay, hold on. My mustache is getting in the way a little bit. Chris Anderson says, it'd be cool to see a Fallout game set in Seattle. We could see the Space Needle and the world's first Slocum's Joe. You know, I always got the impression that Slocum's Joe was more of a comparison to Dunkin' Donuts than to Starbucks. And also that it was a Massachusetts exclusive brand. So I was really surprised to find a Slocum's Joe in West Virginia in Fallout 76. That said, it could have started in Massachusetts as a local brand and grown like a huge franchise, which would explain it being all the way in Massachusetts. But then again, in West Virginia. But then why wouldn't we find it in the Capital Wasteland, right? If it had gone from Boston all the way to West Virginia, why didn't it ever get to Washington, D.C.? We don't find any Slocum's Joes in Washington, D.C. Bit of an issue there. I can't pronounce your name because it uses Cyrillic characters, but he says, I've always been interested in character personality design in video games. Some of my favorite being Nick Valentine's and Seth Roth. Set Roth. What are yours? I completely agree. It's the characters that you're really drawn to in the Fallout franchise, and which I think can partially explain some of the pushback fans have had towards Fallout 76. But I agree with you, and I think Nick Valentine is one of the best, most fleshed out characters in all of Fallout 4. Piper Wright is also really fleshed out. She's a little annoying, just a little bit if I'm perfectly honest, but she's still really sweet and she's an interesting character. But I think some of my all-time favorite characters are the characters from Fallout New Vegas, especially the Joshua Graham and Ulysses are some fantastic characters. Caesar is almost perfect. He's such a great villain. I just wish there was more of him. And I wish more of him would have come out if we chose not to side with the Legion. Really, we only have one introduction to Caesar if we choose not to side with the Legion, and that's when we go to the fort to find Benny. And that's only if we allowed him to escape. If we kill Benny on the strip to take the chip, we really never have an opportunity to see Caesar if we're not siding with the Legion. So, Caesar, I think I wanted to see more of him because he's such a great little villain. But he's still a really well-done character. Vamek says, Bioshock 3 does not require you to commit racist acts. The game takes place in 1912 in the floating American city of Columbia. So racism would be present in that time period. No need to worry. Okay. So games where they accurately depict unsavory human characteristics like racism, as they were in those time periods, I'm okay with. Much like how I still really like L.A. Noire. L.A. Noire is an amazing game, but there are moments where we all feel really uncomfortable because some of the characters, like Roy, is just being unspeakably racist and horrible. But of course, he's such a villain, and that's the point. They wanted to accurately depict that. So if that's the way Bioshock 3 is, then I'll feel much more comfortable playing the game if we ever get to it. I still have so much content to get through that I don't know when I'll be able to return to Bioshock. We played Bioshock 1. I have the entire playthrough of Bioshock 1 on my channel. But we haven't done 2, 3, or any of the others. And it's something I want to do, I want to tackle in the near future. The Outer Worlds? Absolutely the Outer Worlds. It is high on my list. I really should look up the launch dates of all these games. I only got Metro Exodus on Steam because a viewer came to one of my live streams and said, Oxhorn, if you don't buy it on Steam now, you're going to have to get it on the Epic launcher. And I was like, I'll get it on Steam. Dustin Stark says, hey, Oxhorn, I was wondering what your favorite cigar is. I've had a few cheap ones with friends, but I'm looking for some quality. Well, I would guess that by cheap cigars, you probably mean gas station cigars. And if that's the case, then you have not actually had a good cigar. So there are two types of cigar. Well, okay, there's three types of cigars. The first is the cigarillo, which is more like a cigarette than it is a cigar. And what they do is that instead of chopping up a bunch of paper confetti into a cigarette, they take that paper and they dye it so that it's darker, and they roll it up, and it's not real tobacco leaves. The second are the cheap leftover cigars. So what happens is during the handmade cigar process, you have all of these people working on the cigar line, and they've got these huge knives, and they're cutting these leaves of tobacco and rolling them into hand-rolled cigars. Well, during that process, there are a lot of little cuttings of tobacco leaves that get scattered all over the place, oftentimes just thrown onto the floor and swept up later. But they want to squeeze every dime out of the tobacco plant that they can, so they'll sweep up all of the tobacco droppings on the floor, which are sometimes mixed with sawdust and twigs and God knows what else, and they'll stuff them into a wrapper, into a cigar wrapper, and sell that as an unmarked discount cigar. It's really cheap. It's like 30 cents a stick or something like that. And it is tobacco. It is a cigar, but it's not hand-rolled. It's just chopped up cigar confetti. They're extremely cheap, and they're horrible. They're just awful. Just why would you do that to yourself? So as long as you're getting a hand-rolled cigar, you're gonna be okay. Now, people will have a differences of opinion on the quality of cigar brands. I like a good Connecticut leaf wrapper on a cigar. Those are really they're fragile. A Connecticut leaf wrapper is really fragile. You can tear it easily if you're not careful, and if you don't use a really sharpened cigar cutter. But those have a wonderful texture when you're holding them, and they tend to have a really mild smoke. But darker Maduros are also very tasty, and that's what I'm smoking right here. This is a La Aurora y Leon Corojo. A good mid-level hand-rolled cigar. Rachel says, would you consider doing a video synopsis of the first 2 Metro games since you will be streaming Exodus? I ran out of time to watch the old live streams. I'm sorry, I probably won't be doing... I mean, that's a good idea, though. A video synopsis of Metro in our last live streams, and then go through the last 2 Metro games. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the story of Metro Exodus is going to be. Is it going to pick up where the last games left off? Is it going to continue with the novels, or is it just sort of a more open world, freeform sort of thing? I don't know. I probably won't spend time doing that. I have so much other content to get through. Shane says, I love Ox doing the smoke ring trick. My grandfather used to do that. Just great memories. All right. That one hit the camera. Matthew Lucas says, if you were in the Fallout universe, which group would you join? The followers appeal to my libertarian leanings. I also really like the followers of the apocalypse, but they have no ambitions towards governance. And as Captain, what's his name, said in Master and Commander, people must be governed. The thing is, should they be governed by oppressors, or should they govern themselves? In order for people to govern themselves, there has to be some force that keeps people who want to govern others from doing so. That is the problem with the followers of the apocalypse. All they want to do is create medicine and help the sick, which is great, but that doesn't mean that they're a good faction to side with if you're trying to craft a new government that gives power to the people who live there so that they can govern themselves. They're a great support group. They're not really a good endgame faction group. NCR has its problems, as I mentioned in my video on why the NCR is evil. I'm sorry, not why the NCR is evil, on why the NCR would be bad for the Mojave. I don't think they're an evil group, even though some of their members sometimes do evil things. But in terms of the Mojave, I still think that they're the best choice because they allow more people a greater freedom than any other faction. But of all of the factions we've come to know and love in the Fallout series, I think the best one is probably the Minutemen, because not only do they want people to be able to govern themselves, but they have the tenacity to fight for that. The followers don't really fight. I mean, they do in Fallout 1, kind of. When you're going into the Citadel, Nicole will send a couple of followers of the apocalypse freedom fighters with you. They've got a few spears. They don't have any actual weapons except for a couple of spears. They're not really useful. They just take up hexes on the grid, and they more get in the way than anything else. Okay, so yes, there is that. But aside from that, the followers don't really back up their philosophy with might. And if you've got a philosophy that you're sticking to, you got to back it up with might. The Minutemen try to back them up with might, and they fail unless the sole survivor intervenes. The Minutemen, with the sole survivor having intervened, I think is the best faction in the Fallout universe so far. And then again, I haven't finished playing through Fallout 2, so who knows what my... maybe I'll say the She. Maybe I'll end up saying the She is the best faction. The C is the group that I would join, or the She is the group that I would join. Who knows? Jessica Sharp says, just got 8 inches here in Michigan, and our internet is out. Thank God for mobile data. So don't miss your videos and live stream. You're awesome. Thank you. Jessica, wow, thank you for coming. You're snowed out like I am, but you lost your power and you're still coming to Scotch and Smoke Ring. So I'm honored. I'm honored that you're here. Smoke ships, says Chris Sanderson. No, smoke ships have gotten too complicated. There are too many people viewing right now for smoke ships to be viable. And it used to be I would have, 50 to 100 people watching. Now it's, over 1,000 right now. It's much more difficult to do a smoke ship. All those ideas. Hunter Snyder says, Oxhorn, are you ever going to play Red Dead Redemption 2? If and when it ever comes to the PC. Jerry says, hey, Oxhorn, would you ever consider playing Far Cry New Dawn? The Far Cry games look interesting. I haven't... So when the last Far Cry game released, I watched a bunch of videos, did a bunch of reading on it to see if it was right for my channel, and I ultimately decided not to tackle it based on some of the reviews that I read, but the reviews aren't always right, so maybe I'll take a look at the Far Cry games eventually. Greg says, I know we may not have a lot of context for it, but who do you think would win in a debate, Caesar or Robert House? Love your content. Keep it up. I think... I don't know if either of them would win in a debate because they both come from completely different philosophical realms. I mean, they believe in, totalitarianism as a form of achieving your goals. That's fine. But they have very different views on what makes a stable government. I think Robert House is the wiser of the two. And yeah, okay, I guess I'm going to have to say Robert House because he's a bit more eloquent and he's witty in addition to being wise. Caesar is well-read. He learned from the followers of the apocalypse and he's read a lot of history. But when he's challenged, he gets belligerent. I mean, House does too. House gets belligerent as well. But the difference between the two is if you say something that insults House, he just kind of... I mean, he lets you go. I mean, he doesn't get angry. If you say something that insults Caesar, he's so thin-skinned that he threatens to kill you. And if you continue to insult him, he'll turn violent. House only turns violent if you refuse to give him the platinum chip. Otherwise, he doesn't care what you say. He's kind of mature that way. So I think House would win. Pepper Pippington says, if given a chance, would you smoke a several $1,000 pre-embargo Cuban cigar? Also, Gurkha is overpriced garbage. Someone has strong opinions about Gurkha. Sure, yeah. I mean, I could say things like, no, we should sell it and, give that money to charity or, whatever, fine. But I personally wouldn't own a several $1,000 cigar. That would not be a good investment, in my opinion, for me. But if somebody were to come up to me and say, I've got a several $1,000 cigar, and if you don't smoke it, someone else will. Yeah, I'd smoke it. Kane and Nabel says, love your Fallout videos. Thank you very much, Kane and Abel. Taz says, Ox, did you see the story of Obsidian is defending Fallout 76 and that they are unhappy with all of the negative comments about the game? Have not checked out the story on Game Informer. Really? I knew that one of the former Obsidian developers came out in support of Fallout 76, but I haven't seen that. I'll have to pull it up for later enjoyment. Headline: Obsidian wishes people would stop using Outer Worlds to knock on Fallout 76. Wow. It's disheartening when your game is used to tear down another game. They're excited because your game is going to show up another game. That's not why we're making games. We're not making this to make anybody not want to play something else. We're making it for people who want to play this. That's why Obsidian is so great. That's why Obsidian is an awesome company filled with amazing people, and that's why they make great games, because they think like that. Thank you for telling me about this. I'm going to have to check that out. Canned Laughter says, you should voice a mod. It was awesome when you did the voice acting for the radio operator in the Minutemen Take Nuka World. Yeah, the mod itself didn't come with any voiced acting. It was all just text. And I figured, well, if they're not going to put it in there, I'll throw it in too. No, that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing the operator for that particular video. Superior 8 Gaming says, Bernie Flavin here. There's a few pound. Good luck. Thank you, Bernie, from Superior 8 Gaming. Very kind. Nocturne Chanson says, Metro Exodus releases tonight? Oh, come on. Tell me that's not true. What? I can preload it. Preload now live. We are pleased to confirm that Steam Preload is now live for Metro Exodus. PC Steam launch, unlock times worldwide. I knew I should have looked this up. Didn't I say this at the beginning of the program? I should really look up the release dates of the games that I'm planning to cover on this channel. It's the snow. I've been out of snow and I'm just covered in snow and electricity. No electricity. I can't even talk. It releases tonight. Well, this is changing things. So I might have to play some Metro Exodus tonight. And if that's the case, then what we'll do is we'll play some Wolfenstein, the new Colossus, until the game is available. When the game is available, I'll go offline for a brief moment and we'll play some Metro Exodus live on this channel. It's going to take about 20 minutes for it to download and install. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Brandon Smith says, you and I would get along quite well, I believe. As a counseling student, I enjoy the thought and personality that comes out in what you make for all of us to enjoy. Why is Fallout the game you dive into the most? Well, thank you, Brandon. I like how the Fallout franchise puts you in a world where most of the things that we bother about today are all gone. And yet, the people of that world still struggle with the exact same things we struggle with. Which proves that all of our struggles aren't they're not the faults of classes and religions and governments. They're the faults of humans. Just human nature is what creates all of that. And the only solution is to change as people. And so I really enjoy exploring that dynamic, finding factions that don't exist in our world and yet are corrupt or, cheat others, and finding people who are idealistic and being, the rug is pulled out from underneath them. Stuff like that. It all comes together in a really compelling story. Simcopter says, who is the greatest betrayer in games? Benny? Roy? I wouldn't call Benny a betrayer. He can betray you, depending on the choices you make in the game, but when he shoots the courier in the head, it's not like he had won the courier's confidence and then betrayed him. Instead, he even says, sorry to have to do this to you. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. The game was rigged from the start, right? He shoots you in the head, not because he has any animosity towards you, but because you're just in the way. Now, he can betray you later if you choose to sleep with him, or if you choose to spare his life and he says, okay, I'll be right back, and he heads out the door, then sends his goons after you. He can become a bit of a traitor, but that's based on your choices as the courier. Roy is just a scumbag. He's just all around a scumbag. So between those two, I'd say Roy is worse. Vellingham says, hello, Oxhorn. I'm curious with your busy work schedule and your active family life. Do you ever still get to play games just for enjoyment's sake? No. I try to manage that with my work. So when I'm doing something for my channel, I try to choose a game that I really just honestly enjoy, or to answer a question that I genuinely am interested in. Chris says Benny betrays House, though. That's true. Yeah, that's true. He does betray House. I still think Roy is worse. My cigar keeps going out because I keep talking. Assemble says, so this isn't a Wolfenstein stream? It is a Wolfenstein stream. You're in the right place, but as people who watch this program know, the first half of the program is a Q&A, and the second half is the game. In fact, though, we may need to switch over to the game if we're going to be doing Metro Exodus later. What's your favorite song from any Fallout game? Well, from the Bethesda Fallouts, I really enjoy I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire by the Ink Spots, and Civilization by Danny Kaye. Those are two of my favorites. But I think my favorite music is going to be the soundtrack by Ion Zur, however you say his name. And of what he's done, I think his soundtrack for Far Harbor is the best thing he's ever done. Just an amazing soundtrack. Zartu says, all the sites I see say it releases in 1 hour and 15 minutes. Oh, man. Eric says, are you still snowed in? I am still snowed in. Anna says, and the Andrews sisters. That's true. Danny Kaye and the Andrews sisters. Canned laughter said, yes, I did read that because it was in caps. Ajax says, Wolfenstein time. Yeah, I should probably get to that if we're going to do Metro later. Rachel says, beloved, your behind-the-scenes live stream so much. Also, have you seen BuzzFeed's video on where they had private detectives play L.A. Noire? No. Ooh, man, you've got me interested. I'll have to check that out. Mayhem Madness says, thank you for being such a kind soul, Ox. It makes me genuinely happy to see you. Oh, thank you. That's extremely kind. Thoughts on Miami Fallout, says Clint Bartle. I haven't played it yet, but I am considering playing it. I've just got so much content to get through that isn't a mod. Okay. Let's play some Wolfenstein. And then we'll see if Metro is working later tonight. Right. Turn off music on this PC. Let's switch over to the gaming PC sound. And switch to gaming PC video. Alright, moving on over to the gaming PC video. As you can see, there is a reduction in camera quality while I'm on this computer. Sorry about that, but I haven't really sprung for another computer yet. Or another camera yet. Okay. Look at that. 13 minutes and 4 seconds until it's downloaded. Releases in an hour and a half. All right, I think I can do that. We'll see. The problem is that I'm going to have to make a thumbnail for it and everything. When it releases, I'll have to make a thumbnail for it and everything. How am I going to do that having not played the game? I don't have any footage from the game to make the thumbnail. I'll just have to find some marketing art online. So what I may need to do is I may need to end the broadcast about 10 minutes before the game is available for play so I can make a thumbnail, upload it, and then we can do this new stream. Oh, man, I didn't expect this. Okay, it's a good thing the kids are already in bed and I'm snowed in, so it's not like we're going anywhere tomorrow anyway. Chris Anderson says, will you do another song? The Lonesome Road one was cool. I may do another song. In fact, I've had a number of different songs in my head that I'd like to do for Fallout, but you know, there's a lot of legal requirements when you do music, especially if it's cover. But we'll see. Rookie says, Cuphead? Yes, I played that with my son. He's having a lot of fun with it. He's also having fun with Far Lone Sails, which is a wonderful, short little post-apocalyptic game that I downloaded and did a live stream about last year on this channel. And I introduced it to him during our big snow catastrophe, and he's been having a great time with it. Jif Seth says, been following you ever since I got Fallout New Vegas last year. I found your vids to help have a better understanding of Fallout New Vegas and Fallout as a whole.
William, you have to find the transmitter and shut it down, or the depth charges will rupture our hull.
Thank you, Jeff Clef. I will. Okay, diesel craft work. The diesel craft's Blitzen diesel canister ammunition sticks to walls and enemies on impact. These canisters can be remotely detonated. Dual wielding, the diesel craft work automatically detonates canisters on impact. Jason says, Ox, I've been wondering what's a better way to support you, being a member on Patreon or on YouTube? They're both great, so whatever you like best. I can say that on YouTube, patrons or members gain access to emojis and icons in chat that I can't give out on Patreon. But on Patreon, they gain access to a private server on my Discord, a private room on my Discord server, which I never really visit, but they hang out there. Okay, so press left click to fire and place a Blitzen diesel canister. Press right click to detonate the placed canisters. Hold right click while firing to make the canisters detonate on impact. Cool. That's easy enough. Let's try that. Sweet. And I only have one round left.
We've made a mistake. On the floor plan, Section F just looks like a little laundry room. We looked for it when we first searched the U-boat after you captured it, but we didn't see the entrance door. And with all the things we were worrying about back then, I suppose we didn't bother looking too closely. But now I've re-examined the floor plan and there's a reference to a completely different document. The engineering map of Section F. I'll report back as soon as I find it.
All right, so if you're new to the stream, in our last episode, we saved our submarine from being grappled by the Nazis, only to discover that we've got a saboteur hiding somewhere on the ship. So we have blown into a back room of the ship, and we're looking for this saboteur. I only have 1 round left, so let's switch to another gun. 1 round, wait. That's, oh no, I was looking at something else. Okay, so then what's that? 8. Hello? Lots of garbage bags on this ship. I think this saboteur may be the one guy whose bed and note we found in a previous episode.
Sagt, die Terroristen werden jeden Augenblick mit dem U-Boot auftauchen. Sie müssen. Die wollen auch nicht krepieren. Ist er rausgekommen? Wer? Kommandant Fischer. Nein. Warum sollte er auch nach so langer Zeit? Ist bestimmt kurz vorm Durchdrehen eingesperrt im Kontrollraum. Versucht doch immer das Ortungssignal ans Oberkommando zu schicken. Der kommt nie raus. Warum greifen wir nicht von innen heraus an? Töten die Terroristen Schweine selbst! Leidest du vielleicht unter Gedächtnisverlust oder bist du nur komplett zurückgeblieben? Das ist gemein.
Ah, they're having a little sibling spat. All right, let's...
Hast du schon vergessen, was vor 5 Monaten war? Wie der irre Ami mit dem Lasergewehr alle an Bord getötet hat. Keiner konnte ihn aufhalten. Eine Mordmaschine.
That's us.
Seinetwegen haben wir uns hier verschanzt und die Tür getarnt, damit er uns nicht findet. Ja, ja. Ich erinnere mich. Sobald das U-Boot auftaucht, sind wir in Sicherheit. Brüderchen. Und jetzt seid tapfer und macht dir keine Sorgen.
Okay, are they done? All right, let's read this note. Soldat Mueller's journal, March 12th, I think, 1961. Been trapped down here for several months now. I keep thinking about Johann, a true German warrior. He was a hero, gunned down like a martyr by that big, murderous ape Blaskowitz. People like him, communists, anarchists, degenerates, they need to... Hold on a second. Hold on. What happened? Which computer is that? Hold on a minute. I'm still trying to figure this out. Okay, it's not this computer. Okay, I think you couldn't even hear that. So you're probably wondering why I'm spazzing out. I started hearing a bunch of sound on another computer. It was me during a previous live stream. But I don't know why that started playing. Anyway, as I was saying, sorry about that. Must have been very confusing because you couldn't hear what I heard. They need to be exterminated from this planet, just like the Fuhrer said. We are superior, strongest, and bravest. We are not afraid of them. Earth belongs to us. I wonder how long I will have to pee in this bucket. Not going to the toilet by the entrance to Section F, in case he comes back, shooting people. I will just keep peeing in here for now until help arrives. Mueller. Oops, hold on. Now I can't hear anything. Oh, found it. Hey, what's going on? You want what? I can't. I'm doing this right now. If you want food, you need to ask Mama.
I already did.
Well, then, did you get an answer? Yeah? What'd she say? No. Sorry. Interrupted real quick. Ouch. No, that was me. That was just my shadow. Welcome. All right, so snow, electricity issues, internet issues, technical issues with my setup, and then the kids wanted oranges. But it's okay. All right, now I should be able to hear, right? Yes. Okay. All right, sorry about that. We're back. Wish I had a flashlight. Charles says, will you do lore videos of it as well for a play as well as a playthrough? I assume you're talking about Metro Exodus. I don't know. It's one of those things where lore videos take a lot of time and a really good understanding of the game before I can do it. And as of right now, I know absolutely nothing about Metro Exodus except for what we've learned from the previous Metro games. So I can't answer that question. I will be live streaming it, but I don't know if it's going to really be able to be a good lore video. We'll see. Well, they're being very generous with the ammunition. All right, I know that this is a recharging dock, but I don't know how to use it.
William, I found the engineering map. Ballast tank, nuclear warhead stockpile. Oh my god. Section F stretches along the entire hull of the U-boat, and we're on the biggest U-boat in the world, so this section is gigantic. Some of it must serve as a main ballast tank or something, because it's a massive volume. Be careful, William. No telling how many Nazis could be hiding in there.
Dear Angela, my love, I'm writing this letter to you in case I don't make it out of here alive. Maybe there's a chance it will reach you. Our ship was attacked by terrorists a month ago. They killed almost everyone on the ship. They were monstrous, killing indiscriminately. I managed to hide together with a group of other soldiers and Commander Fisher, who I have known for a long time and consider a dear friend. The terrorists took over the submarine and are now using it as their base. They have no idea that we are here so far. We have taken refuge to a hidden section of the ship because the terrorists are outnumbering us. And that terrorist, Blazkowicz, is on their side. Venturing out into the ship would be a suicide mission. It's been 4 weeks now. Days are passing by slowly. People are getting irritated. They want to get out, get some fresh air, something good to eat. Understandable. How's little Hubert? Miss that cute little smile of his. I bet he can walk now, maybe even talk. That would be something to hear. I just hope I will see you again. If I don't, then remember I will always love you and little Hubert until the end of time. All my love, Fritz. Well, this is the last thing that I need. Nazis with humanity. Great. Can I just kill these Nazis without guilt, please? I feel like Soldat Beltz's diary. I feel like a coward. They stole our bolt. Eva's hammer, the jewel of the beloved Führer. I wish someone had the guts to make a push for it. We can take back our boat from these degenerate... We can take back our boat from those degenerate brutes. I'm not afraid of Blazkowicz. Okay, maybe I haven't fought anyone like him, or anyone at all for that matter, since this was my first assignment. Regardless, this cowardly hiding like rats act we're doing is disgraceful. I shall speak to Commandant Fisher soon, if he ever gets out of that damn radio room. So, the guy in charge is in a radio room, eh? We'll have to find him. Whoa! Oh, that's right. We're being, we've got depth charges. Okay. Depth charges, right. Fun. Oh! Glad that wasn't us. And okay. Alley-oop. United Federation of Planets says YouTube didn't send me a notification. I'm sorry about that. I get people complaining about that all the time to me. If you feel like YouTube isn't giving you a notification, do follow me on Twitter. I update Twitter manually every time I go live or publish any other kind of content.
William, those Nazis have been surviving in there ever since you captured the U-boat 5 months ago. They must be starving and desperate. Stay safe, darling.
Gefunden.
If only I had a silenced weapon.
Die Terroristen sind primitive Gotten. Ihre Gehirne sind ziemlich klein, ungefähr so wie Tennisbälle.
Das war eine ernst gemeinte Frage.
Gut. Erstens sind die Wände schalldicht und wir waren ziemlich ruhig. Zweitens ist unser U-Boot das größte weltweit. Ich bin schon seit Jahren hier und kenne immer noch nicht alles. Es ist einfach zu groß. Kennst du etwa alles?
Nein.
Tja, da hast du deine Antwort.
Come on!
Caroline, don't think I'm gonna make it. Few more weeks, baby. With your grace.
Shut up, Black.
William, I took a closer look at the stockpile of nuclear warheads in Section F. According to the engineering map, there's dozens of warheads in there. Let's hope the Nazis haven't tampered with them.
How could they have been sitting on this place for all that time, and they had no idea that there were a bunch of warheads in this thing? Man, did Blazkowicz just pick the best U-boat to hijack? Okay, well, he really misses Caroline. He's practically praying to her. Alright, sorry, Fallout player, gotta loot. Looking for lore. John Cady says, Oxhorn, I'm a big fan of your Fallout streams. They're so chill. Your commentary is fluid, all around very entertaining. I never got the chance to thank you live, but today is the day. You so are incredibly kind. Thank you so much for your generous tip and for continuing to watch. Aha. Oh, and I'm just back right here where I was. Oh, but I would have missed this. Keep your voices down. Men, when we talk in here, we talk using small words. We do not want to risk any sound of us being here leaked out into the other parts of the submarine. Just think what would happen if he comes in here. I do not need to remind you what happened last time. It was a right slaughter. I am trying to send some kind of message to the Oberkommando, where we are so they can rescue us. Until then, everyone sit calm and quiet and do not rock the boat. Communicate using written notes. Use voice only if you absolutely have to. Pass this note along. Commander Fisher. Well, this partially explains why we haven't heard a peep from them this entire time. I could really get used to this suit, by the way. I really hope I don't have to give it back anytime soon. Alright, I think I've looted up enough. Okay. Water. Gotta stay hydrated. Hello, hello.
Kotzen, Julius.
Ich auch, Meinhard. Sich im eigenen U-Boot verstecken zu müssen. Da wird einem ja schlecht.
Ich meine das ernst. Höllische Magenkrämpfe. Hab heute Morgen Blut gekotzt. Ich brauche richtiges Essen. Gott.
Halt durch, mein Freund. Ich lade dich bei Kaiser in Berlin zu einem Kotelett ein, wenn uns der Suchtrupp hier rausholt.
Oh, danke, Julius. Du weißt, was mich aufmuntert.
Bleib stark, Meinhard. Wir haben so lange durchgehalten. Wir schaffen das. Wir sind U-Boot-Fahrer. Uns kann man nicht brechen.
Du hast recht.
My dearest Hans, Franca's postcard. You should see this. The American colonies is a paradise. I'm staying at a hotel in Honolulu. It's beautiful and the locals are friendly to me. The glory of the Reich has truly blessed this place. Still, when I take the girls out to the harbor to buy ice cream and I see all the U-boats and ships coming back to port, I think of you, my love, remembering how proud you were when you got stationed on Ivashammer. I hope you are safe out there and that I can be in your arms again soon. The girls wonder if you have seen a mermaid yet. I miss you. All my love, Franca. Please stop humanizing these Nazis, man! Like, the last thing I need is to feel bad killing them. Can I shoot through grating?
Hallo! Eindringling im Wartungsschacht! Brauche Verstärkung!
won't make that mistake again. John says, Ox your rads, man, and you need to drink. Yeah. Wrong game.
Ich könnte kotzen, Julius.
Ich auch, Meinhard. Sich im eigenen U-Boot verstecken zu müssen. Da wird einem ja schlecht.
Ich meine das ernst. Höllische Magenkrämpfe. Hab heute Morgen Blut gekotzt. Ich brauche richtiges Essen. Gott.
Halt durch, mein Freund.
Wer ist denn der?
Alarm! Eindringlinge im Wartungsschacht! Brauche Verstärkung!
Whoa. Oh my gosh, let me up there. The Fuhrer is our guiding light. I'm not giving my name, says humanized Nazis are the most dangerous Nazis. I believe it. 20th of October, 1960, Los Angeles. Yesterday, the new Wahrheit sat down for an interview with TV producer August Schmilling at the LA Media Tower during his busy schedule of recording the latest episode of Blitzmensch, the most popular adventure show on Ferdinand television in the American territories. I believe Blitzmensch provides an important moral message that resonates with our times, Herr Schmilling tells us in between sips of strong German coffee. The people of the American territories have been liberated from the demons of the past, capitalism and cultural decadence, and are entering a new golden era of prosperity. Our show helps people make peace with their brutal past. Wow, okay. Concerning the incredible art direction of his show, Herr Schmilling only had this to say: our beloved Fuhrer is our guiding light in everything. This show would not have been possible without him. Hold on.
Nazi radio room ahead. Gotta find a way in.
Unknown Commandant's Journal. Day 13. Holed up in here for almost 2 weeks now, like rats in our own U-boat. We'll sketch out a plan with Commandant Fisher. That degenerate terrorist surprised us all. But we are soldiers of the Reich, bred in battle and forged in combat. We will get out here and eradicate those subhumans for good. Day 39. Looks like we will be in here for a while. They are too many for us to handle right now. We are low on ammo. Too much risk involved. Fisher will try to get the communication system working. Day 54. The men are getting desperate. The air is getting stale, pungent. My uniform itches. I try to sleep, but I wake up every minute, sometimes by the men screaming from their awful nightmares. Many of them have seen things no man should see. Day 85. Rations are running low. Some of the men have started hallucinating. Fritz was trying to write to his mom this morning. Problem is that she's been dead for 10 years. Must keep a lookout for the rest to make sure none of them loses it completely. They would be of no use for us if we have to fight the terrorists. Johann will go find some spare parts for the communication system. Day 98. I'm losing my mind. Cleaned my uniform 5 times already and it still itches. We'll need to take it off. When we are rescued, I will put it back on so I can look respectable during the award ceremony. Day I lost count. Fisher managed to get the communication systems working. He has sent messages to the Oberkommando. This is it. They will rescue us. Never lose faith in the Reich. What is Commandant Fisher thinking? He welded himself into the control room with the communication system. Paranoid. Accusing us of trying to interfere with the transmission. He has completely lost it. The men are saying they heard some commotion by the Section F entrance. Probably not.
Thank you, William. The Ausmetz is losing track of us now. Find your way back to the locker room. Bombate will let you out of there.
Oh, the coward. Let's try again.
Thank you, William. The Ausmetz is losing track of us now. Find your way back to the locker room. Bombate will let you out of there.
Got the officer. Logan says Valentine's Day always makes me wonder why the hell I cook for a living. Just got reamed for 5 hours straight. Time to relax to some ox. Well, you're at the right program. Sorry about the tough day at work. I want that gun. Okay, now where? man, I'm gonna lose mine. Who lives in a German U-boat under the sea? Doggone Nazis! Okay. Not according to plan. Make sure you have enough fusion.
Get out of here now.
Fusion cores for that Gatling laser. Will do. Ah. There we go.
Well done, Blaskowitz. Come. Everyone is gathered.
Caroline.
Like that. A life. All they've known. All they've felt. All the shit they've gone through. All of it gone. In one moment. Like water. Like it never was.
Hey. Yeah! Come in, Captain.
You weren't at the service, why?
Look, I couldn't do it, okay? It's too much. Caroline meant more to me than anybody else on this damn ship, and now everyone is expecting me to pick up the torch. All right? Hey, I mean, look at me, man. I can't even find a pair of headphones. All right, I failed the leadership course at Harvard, for Pete's sake. I know I put them here somewhere. Where the heck are they? Oh! Hey, will this ringing not stop, for Christ's sake?
You can't give up, Wyatt. We don't do that.
I'm not stupid, Captain. I saw the look in your eye up there when Frau Engel had you under her thumb. All right, the fire is gone out, and you are just on autopilot now until you hit the wall. Am I wrong, Captain?
Wyatt! Making me regret saving you.
I salvaged some stuff at Jay's, you know, from the old Berlin hideout. Some old recordings and things, just for keepsake.
That boy could play the hell out the guitar, huh?
Yeah, he liked it loud.
I'll see you around, Wyatt.
Later, Captain. Hey, Captain. Would you go see Seth? He wants to give you a physical or something, you know, just see how you're doing. I think he's in his workshop.
Time for a tune-up? Is our Blaskovich going to turn into a synth?
He knows as well as I do. What I got, he can't cure.
Oh, that's kind. Seth's lab. We'll go the other way first. Why does Blaskovich think that Seth can't cure him? This must be his room. BJ and Anya. Yep.
Okay, Max.
Pig?
It's time.
Oh no.
Hey, Max. Why you look so glum? I know you like Rosa, but this is the natural order of things. Piggies die so humans can eat.
Oh no.
And we have run out of food for her. We only have people food left. No piggy food. Hey, okay, Max, okay. Shh. For now, piggy will not be food. And wipe that sad look off your face. Hey, bro. Happiness is a choice, Max. Remember that. Smile. Hey.
Poor guy. Wanted to keep the pig. Can
You
we
look hungry, girl.
feed Rosa? Let's see if I can find some potatoes for the pig. Make her happy. Okay. This is Wolfenstein. Killing Nazis one moment, finding potatoes for pigs the next. How you doing, Bombat? Ooh, what's that? Star card. Peter Gully. Okay. I gotta admit, this game looks really good. Max Haas. Okay, so this is
Max sure likes his crayons.
Max's happy birthday card. Happy birthday, Max Klaus. Oh. Now, where would I find potatoes? Okay, I was looking at that, but apparently that's what I was interacting with. Is there a galley? Wow. Wow, this is a big ship. Okay.
This is a good home for us, Caroline. You always made the right call.
Isabel Williams.
Captain Blaskowitz. Helm? No one at the helm. How did they commandeer this thing? Open notebook. Caroline.
All they've known. All they've felt. Like water. Like it never was.
Juna's postcard. Caroline, woke up by some noise in the catacombs. You speak in your sleep, did you know? Could not understand, but it sounded funny. Putting this card I found in your suit, hoping you will not discover it until much later. Just wanted to say thank you for everything. No matter what happens, they can't stop us. Juna. The postcard has no postal stamps in it. Caroline's journal. After BJ killed General Strauss and freed the prisoners, it crippled the Nazis' research division, slowed the Nazis' advancement in tech research. If he wakes up, I will keep reminding him that we are forever in gratitude to him. The Nazis are demoralized, humiliated, but it's not enough. More is needed. The Paris mission was a success in some ways. It was the first step towards building the momentum we needed to take on the Nazis globally. I just wish I could find a way to help Juna. The Ausminsker has come awfully close the last couple of days. Worrying. Must speak to Set about this. Well, looks like no one has taken over her quarters now that she's dead. Probably out of respect. I don't blame them. Can we climb the ladder? Yeah. Canned Laughter says, okay, Oxhorn, we've had a conversation down here. We want Fallout lore videos. My friend, I do Fallout lore videos day in, day out. I love it, but it's always good for a change. Rank, okay, Irene Engel, rank general, age 56, years of service 29, height 165, weight 62, blood type type O negative, spouse none, we killed her boyfriend. Offspring 5 men, 1 females, notable achievements, group leader of the Berlin squad of Bund des Tschur, Middle, League of German Girls. Reich leader of the Bund des Tschur Madel, camp director of the Belegte labor camp, captured the Crown terrorist group in Berlin. You have a map, right? Yeah, I know where I'm supposed to go, but I'm exploring here. This is part of the fun of the game, right? Or do you guys not want me to read every note? Is that it? I thought you liked lore. If you want me to skip everything, I will. I'll go straight to the action.
I can't believe Caroline is dead. Who will lead us now?
I think maybe Wyatt will?
Interim leadership, you mean? Until we find some more suitable person?
What do I know? I'm not exactly part of the inner circle.
Mio Dio, this is not good. Not good for sure.
Candle After with a tip, repost. We've had a conversation. We want Mass Effect lore. Blame the alcohol.
How are you, Captain?
Doing well, Alessandro. Alejandro.
Ciao, Captain Blazkowicz.
General Engel destroys American terrorist hideout. 24th of June, 1961, Washington. An official spokesperson of the Ausmenzer announced yesterday that General Engel had successfully bombed a group of wanted terrorists hiding in the Rocky Mountains near Denver. Interesting. The cowardly terrorists had been on the run for several years after having blown up an American high school which killed 58 innocent children. What? All terrorists were killed in the incredibly precise bomb attack led by General Engel. In a statement released to the press, General Engel thanked our beloved Führer himself for his eternal wisdom in advising her to probe the area near Denver for leads, and commented that the terrorists were located thanks to some patriotic local civilians who understood the value of loyalty to the Reich. It is important that we root out the undesirable elements of our glorious society so that we may live in peace and aspire towards the greatness that we were destined for, said General Engel in a speech launching her terrorist hunting campaign almost half a year ago today. Someone has drawn a pair of silly goggles, a big mustache, and a pipe on General Engel's face with blue and yellow crayons. Max Haas, maybe. I'm not giving my name. Says, do you have any plans on doing Elder Scrolls videos or Red Dead Redemption 2 videos? Well, I would love to do Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's not available on the PC as far as I'm aware. Once that changes, we'll see. As for Skyrim or Elder Scrolls, I've played Skyrim on this channel.
How are you feeling in head, Mr. Stubbins?
Good
but
days
it's not something
and
I'm
bad
interested in.
days, Irina. When I take my pills, I get a most dreadful headache.
And what happens, Mr. Stubbins, if you do not take your pills?
Well, then I would enter a psychotic and paranoid state. My friends would become my enemies, and I would be a downright hazard to myself and everyone around me.
Oh, great.
I might be compelled to engage in incomprehensible manic ravings for hours on end, while neglecting to eat, drink, sleep, or make use of the lavatory. My teeth would grind, and I would start chewing my own tongue. I would not be quite myself, frankly.
Yes, Mr. Stubbins. And that is why you take pill even if head hurts. I will make you take pill, even if it means I have to ask Mr. Captain Blazkowicz to track you down and knock you out. I keep eye on you. Yes?
You are a right angel, Irina.
And this is our crew. Great. Oh boy. Club Creasal. Hey. I like what they've done with the place. Arcade.
My friend, you look, how you say, like shit, dearling captain. Feel better soon.
Working on it.
What's going on, Captain? Stay strong, friend. The future's unwritten. There's many pages left.
Father Jacques' letter, Paris, November 10th, 1938. Dear Maria, our home is lonely now that you've moved out. You gave the house a warmth and spirit that seems to have decided to move with you. Me and your mother think of you all the time. We are happy, have no fear. In fact, we are delighted for you. There is so much ahead of you for you to see, for you to learn. You must concentrate on your studies now. Tell us how life is in Toulouse. Describe your day. We want to hear it all. Have you heard about Germany? That buffoon won't last long. People must grow tired of his tirades. I suppose he will be gone within the year. Love, your father, Jacques. Maria Laroute. Man, they got pin... Oh, out of order. Ah, look at that. we can play. I think we'll save that for later, though.
Goodbye.
Hey, yeah.
The voice tells me you are in great pain. That you are being eaten from the inside.
Thanks for the brewski.
This world is kill or be killed, monsieur. When I look at you, the voice tells me that man is the greatest killer of them all.
The voice, huh? Well, what a...
Hello. No, not you.
Oh my. What an assortment of characters. Okay. Concept. Got a new concept. Old Blood Bar Restaurant, named after the previous game.
Bon.
Cinema. What's this? Cantina. Joe Sharp.
What is this thing? I can't stop eating it.
What, peanut butter?
Peanut butter. Wow.
Well, she is pregnant. Potatoes.
Boldo, did you check the second exhaust filter on Haas 2?
Of course, miss. Although always do what he promised.
Bueno, you repair?
No, miss. Boldo not repair. Filter was not damaged. New wires needed for controlling exhaust filters, see?
Blue ones?
No, brown.
Oh, mierda. Okay, Boldo. I speak to Seth. Maybe we fix trip to steal more electronic parts for Nazi, huh?
Okay.
Laura says, all right, now I'm getting desperate. Yo, Ox, dude, tell the stream Artemis Bella was here. Peace. Oh, and tell Laura I said hi. Uh-oh, are you on her account? Hey, it's an Edotronic. Les Halles de Leon. Potatoes! Yeah! I'm gonna take more of those potatoes. Oh man, I'm so good on potatoes. So that was the cantina and diner. Right.
Good to see your face.
Let's go back and feed that pig. If we can find him. I've kind of gotten lost here. Nope. And I did a big circle. Great. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Out here. And down. That's the helm. So I came from... Well, that's Seth's lab. I can't go there yet. Gotta feed the pig. Pig! Here you go, buddy.
Max sauce.
You happy now, pig?
All right, Seth's lab.
Many ways to get to Set's lab, it looks like. Set's note. I am fascinated by the specimen vat Caroline seized at General Becker's base in Paris. It seems they were working on a new type of super soldier bred entirely for combat. It has distinct organic properties, but seems to be much stronger and durable. Biological, yet manufactured. This is not a grown person with altered physique, but something else entirely. I told you, a synth. I recognize the liquid preserving the body, based on very old Da'at Yakud technology. I remember experimenting with something similar, but cruder as a child, for preserving frogs and big beetles. It has completely canceled the decomposition process of Juna's body and the other vat we placed in the storage room. Wait, Juna's dead? Holding it in a suspended state. Caroline wants me to leave her alone. I shall do as she asks, of course. I see no hope, however. The girl is brain dead. Oh. Is Juna her daughter?
Hey, man.
Abraham Holiday. That's a good name. All right. In a minute. I've got lore. Set's note concerning Caroline's power suit. This armor Caroline wears is, I must say, beyond fascinating. Such details, such craftsmanship, almost flawless in execution. A truly fantastic example of Da'at Yakud engineering. I can't even stop looking at it whenever I'm around Caroline. Well. Created maybe around the 18th century. Very difficult to pinpoint exact date. I did hear about this when I was a little boy chick. From stories told by the elders, even a klutz could wear this and become the greatest athlete in the world. The engineers hid encrypted messages inside the lining of the suit, which I have been trying to decipher, but I have bubkiss so far. Anyway, I will return to it one day if I have time. Boy chick? Unknown Nazi scientists note. Following the catastrophic failure of the so-called crocoduck experiments with genetically engineered animal hybrids, a more crude approach was decided upon. Here I will detail the latest experiment for you. Subject A's head was removed carefully and placed in the vat containing the preservation liquid developed by the research team in Paris. Subject B's body was taken out of its vat, which also had been preserved in the same liquid and prepared for conjoining. Subject A's head was subsequently attached to Subject B's neck. While there was movement, this seemed to be mostly reflexatory, and there was unfortunately no signs of consciousness from Subject A. The experiment was aborted, and it was determined that more research was needed. Specifically, more Da'at Yakud parchments were needed to fill in the missing pieces of the puzzle. This note is blood-stained and incomplete and written in the margins with Set's handwriting. Must be the Draconian theorem. We'll investigate. Shooting range. Cool. Master Meme says, I'm glad I'm not alone on Valentine's Day because I've got you guys. Well, you're welcome. Set's Diary, April 5th. What a lovely day. People have been asking me all kinds of questions about the Da'at Yakud. They try to understand. I see this, but it is a challenge for them. I must speak like a child to them. Leave out the complex esoteric stuff. The Da'at Yakud is an ancient mystical organization. We existed before the major religions of the world. We think hard, do math, and build things to contact God. That sort of thing. I was sworn in as a boy chick. Okay, that's got to be Yiddish. It's because it's the only thing I don't understand. He's a boy chick? I was sworn in as a boy chick, and I too had a difficult time truly understanding the Da'at Yakud. No, we don't want to control the world. No, we don't want to destroy the planet with superior technology. Yes, the Da'at Yakud is open to anyone with a curious mind who wants to reach God. But didn't you make clocks, Mr. Setroth? No, yes, sometimes. Watchmaker was my cover long ago before the war. Ah, well, maybe they will understand it all eventually. Now, sleep beckons me. I must submit. America says boy chick just means boy according to Merriam-Webster. Okay, so it is Yiddish. Boy chick. Like that? Broichik. No, there's no R in there, so I shouldn't roll anything. Boychik. Hold and to inspect. Let's see. Caroline's note. Set, here is my list of possible resistance locations as you asked. Manhattan, a radioactive wasteland, perhaps, but the information Juna discovered in Paris says Nazis have suffered losses in the area, which can only be explained by the presence of resistance groups. Where? Written in Set's handwriting, must be somewhere higher up to avoid the radiation on ground level. We'll investigate. New Orleans, the name Horton comes up frequently in the Nazi intel from Paris. We know No is a ghetto. New Orleans is a ghetto where the Nazis place American dissidents and other unwanted elements of their society. Juna's resistance friend from Paris, Dmitri, he had a relative who may be part of the New Orleans resistance. Appalachian Mountains, hey, Fallout 76 tie-in. There is not much known about this. Nazis have captured several possible resistance members in the area, but have not found anything. If there are groups there, they may be dormant now. If we manage to start a revolution in America, maybe they will wake up and join us. Sorry, they're all in vaults. That is what I have. More details are in the information Juna gave me of the course. Of course. Come and see me if you want to know more. Carolina.
In sad times, I like to listen to music. Do you like music, Herr Blazkowicz?
All right, what's up?
No! What the hell is that thing?
This is not the thing, Shimshon. This is not the thing. This is the body of a squirrel monkey and the head of my beloved Siamese kid. Shoshana, look at this. She's not gonna do anything to you. He's a good Yingler. You see, I found Shoshana hunting for rats in the reactor room when we captured the U-boat. A few months later, she was dying of bowel cancer when I stumbled upon this practically brain-dead monkey chewing on a blasting cap. And please do me a favor, Mr. Blazkowicz, lower your axe. You're making me nervous. This is not only my favorite animal. This is most probably my most significant scientific achievement. Yes, you are significant.
Oh my
hungry?
gosh.
Here's a fish cake. You see,
they had to have like a
in
Disney
order to
moment.
do a cross-species head transplant, you need to A, bridge the spinal column. She's okay. B, harmonize otherwise totally recalcitrant biological system, respiratory and circulatory.
Okay, I get it.
Set is my favorite
Spare
guy.
me the science mumbo jumbo.
What am I doing? I'm like an old kachka. You had such a long day, and I'm sorry. Let's see. You want something for to sleep, Ingela?
No, I just need to keep busy.
Distractions, no, I understand. We all grieve in different ways, but I have a perfect distraction for you, Ingela. Look, a few days ago, Anya asked me to make a shooting range for the fighters on board. It's almost finished, but I was experimenting with an old German drone for target practice when suddenly this verkackte machine went Adolf Hitler on me, started running Michigan in there. So, I had to lock it inside. Do you mind going in there and destroying the drone? And, feel free to try my shooting range. Tell me how you like it. No, just come back, give me your thoughts when you're done. Okay, Ingela?
Okay, I'll have a look.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Shooting range. Neutralize the drone. Ammo depot. Shooting range. Yeah, let's check out the ammo depot. Well, hello.
Gonna make me chase you, ain't you?
Oh, doggone it. Sweet. One upgrade kit available. Okay, what should I upgrade? The pistol. Let's upgrade this. Oh, I see. Let's upgrade the pistol with a scope. Or, I'm sorry, a suppressor. There we go. That's what I was complaining about earlier. Okay, we've got a drone to kill. I don't know, there's something about shooting guns in a submarine that makes me nervous.
Seth's got to be more careful with his experiments.
Oh. Well, I got the drone. Oh. Cool. So it's like a timed course if I want it to be. Oh, fun. Oh. All right, I don't want to do the shooting range right now. Let's go back to set. If I can remember.
Moika.
Oh, look at all of that. Set's lab.
You're back, Shimshon. How was my shooting range?
Ah, well done, Yingler.
You
Man, a few
fresh
words.
apple, you...
Herr Blaskovich, your lady, Anya, she was here looking for you?
Oh, yes. Anya found Caroline's notes about the American resistance cell in New York City. Look for her in Caroline's room.
Okay.
Have
Exodus.
you listened to die Käfer, Herr Seth?
Yeah, what, Mädele?
Mond, Mond, ja, ja, wie rein wir sind. Die Band, die Käfer. Have you listened to their music?
Music? Music? You want my head to explode? Mädele, it's music, she calls it.
They sing very well.
Yes, yes, they do.
And they look good too.
Oh, of course.
That's not a bad thing, is it?
No, it's not bad, no.
These characters are great.
Johann is my favorite. So mysterious.
Oh, very mysterious. Oh, I remember romance. Yeah, I do. Vaguely.
Vaguely, he says.
It's just make-believe. Mother doesn't like make-believe. She has my marriage already arranged to the son of the head of the secret police in Berlin.
That's fantastic, fantastic.
I don't know anything about him except that he sweats a lot.
Ew.
Plays golf all the time and smells of onions. I hate onions.
Oh.
You are free of your mother right now, no? Yeah, you can go on any romantic adventure you like. Just do it.
Yeah. I suppose that is true. Mond, Mond, ja, ja.
Oh,
Mädele,
dear.
do me a favor. Just
I hope she doesn't get into any trouble later.
Catch, all day long.
Mond, Mond, ja, ja, wir rein wir sind unter dem großen Forscher. Mond, Mond, ja, ja, wir rein wir sind unter dem...
Oh, poor lady.
Entschuldigen Sie, Herr...
Pick your moment, man. Wrong moment. She'd be great at parties, I think. All right, look, it's 9 my time, midnight Eastern time. Let me see. It says Metro Exodus
Play. Can I play? Ah! This game is not yet released. It'll be unlocked and available to play on its official release day. But today is the release day. Scheduled for today at 9:07 p.m. It's 9:02 right now. All right, well, if you don't mind sticking around with me, I'm going to make a thumbnail real quick. Welcome to the scintillating part of being a YouTuber. I'm going to download some marketing art. And make a thumbnail. Oh, that's good. Yeah, let's find... I can't broadcast the desktop of this computer or I would show you what I'm doing, but I'm just going to make a thumbnail real quick. Let's see, I got to find something that's large enough. So let's search for usage rights labeled for reuse with modification so that I don't get demonetized. And let's choose something really large, something larger than 124. Okay, now these are all Vimeo. No, see, there's Metro Exodus fan art. There should be a press kit, right? Let's see, Metro Exodus press kit. Videos. No, I need images. Images, here we go. Beautiful, big images. Great. So we've got the Metro Exodus press kit. What would be a good image for this thumbnail? That's pretty cool. Ooh, and it's nice and big. I like it. All right, let's pop open Photoshop here. Oh, but I don't have the appropriate fonts. Don't have the appropriate fonts. What is the Metro Exodus font? You know what? I don't have time. Let's just create the thumbnail without the correct font, and we can always change it after the broadcast. And let's do... Metro Exodus Day 1. Why ruin a winning formula? Live with Oxhorn. Let's bump up the size of that font. Ooh, getting a lot of system lag here. Bump that up to be really big so people can see it and move that down. Let's actually center that. Center all of that. And move that down a smidge. Great. Now that I've got the text in there, it looks like the thumbnail I chose, the image I chose isn't going to work. So let's find a different image from the press kit. That's a good one. Ooh, that's a good one too. Oh, I like that one. No, that one's too dark. Gotta white. Let's get a white one. A snowy landscape. That's what we want. A nice snowy landscape. Oh, but now the white text to here. Let's put a drop shadow on that. Let's do a drop shadow. Yeah, it's the best we can do. Okay. Great. Let's go Metro Day 1. Let's see if we can get this up on the computer now. It's 9:07. This game is not released yet. It'll be unlocked and available for play on its official release day. Come on, is anyone playing this game live? It's the right time now.
Luke says, hey, Ox, once Hoover Dam was built, the buildings used to make concrete were flooded upstream from the dam. Could the caves under Lake Mead in New Vegas be filled with engine parts and skeletons? Be legit? Yeah, it's quite possible. I don't actually... Oh, I see what you're saying. You mean, well, I guess the thing that I'm worried about is, like, how did they get all the way back there, right? Because in order to get into that cave under Lake Mead, we had to swim through a cave opening and dive really deep into there. I could understand if ships sunk and they floated to the bottom, but to sink, float to the bottom, and then travel through a cave system, that's the hard part. Restart stream? Yeah, I will restart the stream. But I'm not going to do that until Metro Exodus is... I'm not going to do that until Metro Exodus is actually live. So I exited Wolfenstein, and I'm trying to play Metro on my gaming PC, the one where I installed it, but it says that it's not available yet. Close Steam and restart? Okay. Good call. Let's exit Steam on the gaming rig and restart. Got my thumbnail made. I'm almost ready to go. I just don't want to get everyone's hopes up if the game isn't actually live yet. So let's restart Steam. Oh, it needed an update. Maybe that was it. It's updating real quick. Great. Now, Metro Exodus. What does it say queued? It had to download another patch of some sort. Weird thing is that it's at 99%. So I don't know how long to wait. This is the frustrating thing. It's at 99%. It's hanging on 99%. Could happen at any moment. Or it could be an hour because they're not telling us how long it's going to take to download this final file. I meant Hoover Dam. Right, Hoover Dam. That makes I knew what you were saying. I got the connect there. Jason says, Ox, you're starting to sound a little bit like Bob Ross. If you talk about happy trees, I'm just done. Did I say something like Bob Ross did? Okay, well, the progress ticker moved once. One notch. Two. It's at 2 notches. Live commentary. When will it happen? We're waiting for the third. It could happen at any time. At the moment, I just see gray. A field of gray with 2 blue notches, waiting for notch number 3. When will the third notch appear? I don't know. Do you know? I don't think you know. But if we wait, we'll discover. Or we could play Wolfenstein while we wait for this third notch to appear. Cigar says, sadly, Ox, it's live now on Epic Games. Great. I guess they are making us pay for getting it on Steam. Theodore says, turn off the face cam for Metro for full effect. I will. I'll be recording it onto my machine in case I choose to do a lore video later. So, yeah, I will. I'll turn off the face cam when I start streaming Metro Exodus. If this doggone thing will finish downloading. Q&A. Yeah, that's a good idea. We can continue with the Q&A while that finishes downloading instead of having me just sit there. Let's get my music back up. Oh, and my mouse is gone. Oh, that's because the battery died. Glad this is all happening before I got into Metro. Battery died on the mouse. Let's plug that in to the USB. There we go. Mouse is back. one thing I was going to do during my live show, which I forgot to do, is show off my latest prop. Here is my latest prop, and it looks like a fusion core. It came with this nice stand, and I have to say, I have been disappointed with some of the officially licensed props that Bethesda has produced, but this one is well done. This is a high-quality prop, really well painted, looks weathered, it's heavy in the hand, feels like a good plastic construction material. Bought it months ago, and it just now arrived, and it's a nice little item. So, thank you very much for that, Bethesda. Actually, that's gonna fall off if I put it there. All right, we're at 6 bars, 6 of like 20, so it's working. Let me get some music going so that it's not just my voice. Yeah. There we go. Now you can hear the music. And I've got my scotch. Let's get your chat up on this window. Maple God says, can we get day 32, I believe, of Fallout 76? And today is a great day because they released a patch a few days ago and released a This is what I heard earlier. Yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. This patch, this update, adds a whole bunch, or fixes a whole bunch of problems and changes the way the game works in many ways. For example, caps stashes are no longer lootable objects. They act as containers. So in order to take advantage of the cap collector perk, you have to actually search the container. That way everybody gets in. Found it! Found it and turned it off. That's what I was listening to earlier during the live stream when I had to turn off the sound. Something popped up on this machine. Anyway, got you all here now. Let's go ahead and save Metro Exodus screenshot. And then we'll upload this as soon as I turn the stream off to play Metro Exodus. Hold on, knock at the door. Okay, the little one is going to bed now. My older son has been in bed, but she got up. So little one's going to bed. Wanted to say goodnight. Hold on. Dominique Russell with a tip. Thank you very much. As for doing Rafflemow on my 500th episode, I don't know. Rafflemow is the sort of thing where I'm happy where it is. It's online. People can watch it whenever they want. I don't really need to redo it or anything. Buff Canucks, that comment disturbed me. I'm not going to read it. I know you're joking, though. Cheers. Okay. Where's my cigar? Oh, and my ashtray's getting... Okay, so this is how I get through work each day. Let's make a little bit of room. Here, let's sit down there. Get up my backup cigar. I didn't start the program thinking I'd be doing an all-night live stream of Fallout or Metro Exodus, but it looks like that's what's going to happen. Maybe not all night, but for at least a couple of hours.
Let me go dump this ash and cut the cigar. I'll be right back. We're over halfway done downloading this day one update. So we're doing good. Go. There's a lighter. There it is. Buff Canuck says, oh my God, please don't read that. I didn't think you would see it. Yeah. Well, because you're a member here on YouTube, your name has a big hat icon next to it, so it stands out. So just be careful what you say. I might read it. Ethan says, Oxhorn, you need to clean that. I just did. Look, it's sparkling. You could eat your dinner off that. Mr. Zaretti says, when is the Fallout 2 series coming out? When I finish it. Let's see, what did I just finish? I'm at Broken Hills. There are a few quests I need to finish up at Broken Hills. And I need to get Marcus as a companion. Then we can move on. So there's a whole lot of the game left to explore. I haven't even made it to New Reno yet. I haven't been to San Francisco. I haven't met the Enclave except in random encounters. So yeah, there's a lot I need to do before I can start my Fallout 2 series. Thomas says, do you see all the messages on this? I do indeed. What other hats do you have, Oxhorn? Geez, I don't really wear hats except for when I go out. And then I wear like a flop cap, like a newsboy cap, really. Derpy Moose says, stream tomorrow and what time? Yes, my stream tomorrow will be at 10 o'clock in the morning, unless things go really long tonight. I didn't expect that Metro would be dropping tonight because I'm just not very attentive. And so since it is, we're going to play a little bit of Metro tonight, and then tomorrow we'll wake up for a good live stream of Metro, okay? At 10 o'clock p.m., 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. Sam Fox says, do your kids play Fallout 2? They don't. They're both very young. My son just plays a few small video games. My daughter doesn't play any because she's just too little. And I probably won't allow them to play the Fallout games until they're teenagers, late into the teens. All right, we're at 75%. That's okay, Ethan. Pixar says, what did you think of the kitty monkey baby? Well, I thought that was Wolfenstein's Disney moment. A little disturbing. The Great Bug V says, Ox, is it true that there's nothing left to do in Fallout New Vegas? No, there's nothing left to do in Fallout New Vegas. There are a few other minor locations that we haven't explored yet, but I have finished most of the content. Every DLC, the entire main story, almost every location discovered, every quest done. So I'm going to be saving any other future Fallout New Vegas content for smaller episodes that I'll probably publish when I have to leave town. The Gintrovert says, hey, Ox, can we play Wolfenstein in the meantime? Well, we could, but it's almost done. So, I mean, I don't know. If I were playing Wolfenstein right now, I'd be alt-tabbing every 5 minutes to see if this was done, which would disrupt our Wolfenstein gameplay. And Besides, I already exited out of that game, so. Mayhem Madness says, Oxhorn, I'm curious, why until teens? I don't mean to criticize, I'm genuinely curious. As I grew up, my father let me play any game that wasn't horror. Well, the Fallout franchise, it has a lot of adult themes, you know? And I don't think that those are bad. I cover them in my videos because I think the series has merit. But, you know, I want my children to be able to eventually watch my videos and play Fallout when they're old enough to understand those adult themes and appreciate them and approach them maturely. So I don't know what my kids are going to be like growing up. We'll see. Maybe it'll be their early teens, maybe the late teens, depending on their maturity. I don't know. We'll see. Wiley Page says, I wasn't allowed to play games where you kill humans until I was 16. I was stuck killing damn clankers in Star Wars Battlefront for PS2 until I was nearly a man. Oh, well, you know, I'm not going to criticize your parents for that. You know, every kid is different. They have different parenting needs. Pepper Peppington says, did you ever RP or roleplay back in your WoW days? No, I never really did. I was on a role-playing server back in my World of Warcraft days, mainly because of the names. I didn't want to walk around seeing a player named 5-time skiing champion, 39 big abs, or whatever. So I wanted all of their names to feel like part of the world, but I didn't care what people said, and I didn't role-play my character. I just did the quests and did a lot of single-player content. All right, we've got one notch left on this. Almost done downloading and installing. Let's hope they don't find something else to magically download and install. Your cam is lagging. Is my cam lagging? Yeah, it is. Huh, how did that happen? We'll have to... Okay, hold on. It's finished installing. One second. It says ready to launch. I clicked play game. Waiting. Ah, it's working. It's working. Okay. I'm going to end this broadcast for 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to upload the thumbnail. I'm going to put in all of the metadata and all of that. I'm going to make sure this game is running appropriately on my machine. And then I'll come back with Metro Exodus. Okay? Hang tight. Thanks for joining for this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. Tune in next week. Same Ox time, same Ox channel. Hang tight for Metro Exodus in just a few minutes.